Hi everyone. Hi. I hope you can all hear me okay. I'll try and shout over the music. Thanks everyone for coming. Today I'm going to talk about Iron Quest, which is a project I started at the beginning of this year. Before I begin, so I'm Sarah Bartlett. You can tell I'm not from around here, I'm from London. I'm a BI and analytics consultant based at Slalom. We have a shameless plug, we have a booth over there, and I'd love you to come and say hello while you're here. I'm a two-time Tableau social ambassador. I'm an Iron Viz Europe finalist last year, and I'm a co-leader of the London Tableau user group. If you want to reach out to me, my contact details are here. I'm on Twitter as Sarah Loves Data, tweeting lots this week, so you can find me that way. And I also blog at sarahlovesdata.co.uk. So before I tell you what Iron Quest is, for those of you that don't know, I'm going to tell you why I started it. So back in March 2018, Tableau announced that they were going to do the Iron Viz Europe feeder, and it was based on European cities. Now, I had no idea what to do for that feeder. You have to source your own data if you're not familiar with how the process works. And I didn't know what city to go with. I knew I didn't want to do anything about London or Paris or anything that was obvious. So I was just Googling away, like anything to do with European cities. And this is kind of like where I was at. I spent like 3 weeks intensively Googling European cities and getting nowhere. And then I eventually found this great website. I think it's called thepriceoftravel.com. And it tells you where the cheapest places to go backpacking are around Europe. And it has 59 cities on there, and it tells you how much different things cost, like accommodation, food, sightseeing. But the thing is that this website looked like this, and it repeated 59 times. And I thought, there's no way I'm just going to type that all out in Excel. It's going to take me forever. I thought, it's really annoying because this is the perfect data set. So I contacted my friend Lorna Eden, who some of you may know. She's an ambassador as well. She runs Workout Wednesday. And I was like, Lorna, I really need some help. So she used Alteryx to scrape the website, and within 10 minutes I had all the data that I needed in a lovely Excel spreadsheet. So it was amazing. So because of that, I was able to continue, and I was able to build a viz, which is this one, which is it ended up being just the top 5, but the top 5 cheapest European cities to travel to. And this got me into the Iron Viz Europe finals. So I was on stage, and it wouldn't have happened had it not been for Lorna's help. So I thought, it's got to be easier to do this. And I think just later that year, I came to a conference, last year in New Orleans, and I was talking to people, and they were saying, I'm really scared about entering Iron Viz. I don't want to end up on stage, or I don't quite know how to go about sourcing my own data. Because if you look at a lot of the projects that are out there, things like Makeover Monday, Workout Wednesday, Project Health Viz, they all provide a data set, which are great, but sometimes we need some help in actually learning how to source data as well, which is what Iron Viz asks for you for the feeders. So I thought, wouldn't it be good if there was a way you could actually practice those kind of skills before the feeders come around, and then you're too scared and you spend 3 weeks like me Googling stuff and not getting anywhere. So I founded Iron Quest. Now, at the time, I didn't know what I was going to call it, and I was reaching out to different people, and I said, I've got this thing I want to do, and it's going to do this, but I've got no name. What do I even call it? I want to call it Iron something, because it's got something related to Iron Viz. And it was Caesar over there, giving me away for Caesar. He actually came up with the name, so thank you. I really, really appreciate it. I'd had these day-long conversation with Van Jackson, what are we going to call this thing? And all these stupid names were thrown out there. And then Caesar was just call it Iron Quest. So the name was born. So Iron Quest was founded in January of this year. And the mission really is 4 things. So to create a safe space to practice. So I know that it can be quite intimidating entering Iron Viz, you're putting your work out there, and especially if it's not something that you're used to doing, it can be quite scary. So I wanted a safe space where people could practice, where they weren't going to be judged or in any way, and also to provide diverse topics. So every month when I run Iron Quest, we do different topics. I keep them really broad, so you can just go at it however you want, take your own angle, and then don't just box someone into a really precise kind of topic. Also, the differentiator, I think, with Iron Quest as opposed to other projects is we provide feedback. So every month I'll partner with somebody in the community, and we'll do about an hour and a half long feedback call where we just go through all the vizes that people would ask for feedback on and discuss them in detail and look at how they meet the design, storytelling, and analysis criteria, which is the criteria that they use to judge Iron Viz on. And finally, I publish all of the visualizations in a blog at the end of the month. And this gives people a way of getting their work noticed. So I share that out on Twitter and other social media platforms. It's on my blog, and you can just scroll through and see all the entries. So I think it's a really nice way of you putting everything together and inspiring people. And ultimately, the main goal of IronQuest is to prepare people for Iron Viz. So once they've gone through a couple of rounds of IronQuest, hopefully they'll be in a position to enter Iron Viz, or in the Iron Viz feeders. I don't run IronQuest while the feeders are on, so the two don't clash. So you could always practice, and then when the real feeders come around, you can enter those instead. The process works like this. So there's a new project topic released every month. Most months I'll give the community a say in what projects we do and give them a list of topics to pick from. I'm actually going to give you the opportunity to do that later in this session, so you can all vote on the next topic, which I'll release soon. But the way that it works is the cycle. So the number one is topics announced. So that's usually announced on Twitter and LinkedIn. Then you go away and you source the data that you need for that. I will provide some tips and also some links to different sites you can go to find your own data. And then you obviously go away and build the viz, which is the main part. It takes the longest. And then you submit the viz. I have a quick form you can fill in. And you can opt in for feedback. I mean, it's completely optional, you don't have to. And then there's a feedback call, like I mentioned before. It takes about an hour and a half, and we record that, and we share the recording out to everyone that participated so they can get feedback and go away and update their viz accordingly. So far, I've run 5 challenges since January. I mean, you get prizes if you can guess from these little icons what they were. But the first subject that we did it on was crime, followed by business dashboards. That was actually voted for by the community, which I was amazed at, that anyone wanted to go away and build business dashboards. The next one was on climate change and sustainability, followed by sea creatures, and most recently I partnered with SportsViz Sunday, and we did a combined SportsViz Sunday IronQuest project on sports, so you could visualize any sports. And I think for that one we had record entries in both community projects, and also we had around 17 different sports featured, which was just amazing. So to date, I've had 130 entries from 88 participants. Some people have entered multiple vizes, which is amazing. Is Kate here anywhere? But Kate entered 2 vizes for the most recent round. And then we've had 7 viz of the days, and I think 3 of those were from the SportsViz Sunday round. It was like almost every day Tableau Public were announcing another viz of the day, which is incredible. Now I just want to go through and actually show you some of the entries that we've had, and some of the authors are in this room, which is great, so I'll give them a wave. So for January, which when we were looking at crime, we had the visualization on the left, which was by Alex Jones, who's based in London, and he looked at gun crime in the US, and just in this beautiful form. And then on the other side, we have a viz from Mike Cisneros, which took a completely different spin on the topic, which looked at the number of times Fiona Apple sang the song "Feeling Like a Criminal" at different concerts around the US. And it's just totally random, but again, it just shows to show how broad these topics are. Then in February, we looked at business dashboards. So the viz up here is by Anna, who ended up winning Iron Viz Europe. And she did a viz in Polish looking at hospital waiting times. And then the viz up here is by Kevin Flerlich, and he looked at the money collected by his church and how that money's been spent. So again, 2 very different topics. And then for the next round, we did sustainability and climate change. So the viz up here is by Kate, who's over there, and she looked at the whaling industry. And I really loved how she showed that the whale was underwater at the bottom of the viz. I thought that was really cool. And then on the other side, we have a viz by Michelle Freeman, who's sat right there, looking at the Flint water crisis. And it's a really serious topic, and I love how she went with the monochrome design. And the next one we did was sea creatures, so kind of similar. The viz on the right was by a collaboration that I did with Kevin Flerlich. So we looked at a sea turtle called Bean, who's based in Costa Rica and actually has a tracker on her back, and we tracked her around and also looked at the life cycle of a sea turtle. And so this is just an extract of that viz. It's much longer. And then the viz on the other side is, just for you, Paul, is Baby Shark. So this is by Ash, and he applied the words of Baby Shark to the life cycle of a shark and threw in some facts. I just thought that was just hilarious, but also very good work as well. And then most recently we did the sports round. So the viz on the left is another one by Kate over there. She looked at the tennis, so Roger Federer, Nadal and Djokovic, and how they've compared over time. And again, this is part of a much longer viz. And then the viz on the other side is by Neil Richards. So Neil's known for his data art designs, and he looked at the Rugby World Cup in a really artistic way. Now, while I'm here, I want to just highlight some of the participants who have been taking part in IronQuest, and also I've got some testimonials from them. So the first one is from Mira, who sat right there. So Mira's from Singapore. She's been participating in IronQuest regularly, as well as other projects like Makeover Monday and Project Health Viz. Now, she entered the most recent Iron Viz final, and she actually came in 5th place, which I think is amazing. So well done, Mira. And it's great to see her work over time. So the viz on the left here is from January, when we visualized crime. And again, this is part of a much longer viz. And then the viz on the left was from the business dashboards round. But then she did this amazing entry into actual Iron Viz, which looked at immigration in the US. And I've had to split this in two because it's such a long viz, but I just think it's beautiful, and it's great to see her skills kind of evolve over time, and just working on that feedback that she's got both from IronQuest and from Makeover Monday. The next participant I want to highlight is Kate, who's over there. So Kate has been entering every single round of IronQuest since it began in January. And she's another regular participant in Makeover Monday, and has really acted upon that feedback that she's been given. So if we look at some of Kate's work, this is her first IronQuest entry, which is looking at crime in Montana, which was quite a basic viz. It was nice and clean, but quite a basic design. But then most recently, she's done this visualization on sea creatures, specifically turtles, which is just amazing, really detailed, really great story. It's just really, really good to look at. And then finally, the last person I want to highlight is Josh. So Josh is actually taking part in Iron Viz this afternoon. And Josh entered the crime round, and he's really cited IronQuest as a great way of improving your skills and getting you to Iron Viz as well. And this was the visualization that he entered for IronQuest. So he used the concept of Daredevil and the comic books to show crime in New York, which is just amazing. And this actually inspired him to create a whole nother load of vizzes, all based on comic books, and just overlaying that data with a fun story. And then this was his entry that got him into the Iron Viz finals, which is an incredibly long viz. You can find it in the Viz gallery upstairs. They've actually split it over 3 panes because it is that long. I highly recommend you go and check it out because it's amazing. So, if you want to take part, the next project I'm going to start is going to be on Monday. And I'm going to let you be part of that and choose the topic. So I'm going to use Kahoot. So I don't know if any of you used Kahoot before. If you get out your phones, you can either go to kahoot.it or you can use the app. And if you enter that PIN, we can get started. So let me just come out of this. So I'll just wait for you to join. As people join, we'll see that. Hang on. Let me just get the tech guy. Hang on. Excuse me. Hang on. Let's put that back up for a second. No? Can you stop presenting?
Okay.
I want you to present the Chrome. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. Okay, yeah, so if you just take the details up there. Just wait for you all to join. I actually can't see this on my screen, so I'm going to have to flip the two. Let's give it one more minute. Okay. If I can get it back. Let's go. Okay, you should get options to vote now. Here you go. Just select the one that you want to vote. You want to viz. Which topic appeals to you most? We've got a few seconds. Wow, so food and drink. So I'll announce that on Monday. So yeah, go away and think about what you want to visualize. Anything related to food and drink, keep it broad. Yeah, it would just be really great just to see what comes in. Let me go back to my presentation. And if you want to hear more about the project, all the details are on my blog, which is sarahlovesdata.co.uk. Every month I'll do 2 blog posts, one to show just to announce the topic and give you some ideas, and then one to wrap up the project, so to show all the entries. I've also got a Viz in Tableau Public which tracks all the entries, so you can go back and see over time all of your entries and other people's and explore those and just see the top entrants so far. And again, if you want to reach out to me, my details are there, so Sarah Loves Data on Twitter as well, and that's the same name for my blog. But thanks everyone for coming, and thank you to my participants as well.